So what does it take to get the furry and feathery projects ready for the big show? There's no time to introduce. Melissa, just go.
She's being attacked by a rabbit.
I'm here at the rabbit barn at the Adams County Fair, where here's my new friend Thumper, and apparently I am not holding him the way he really wants to be held this morning. There are 450 bunnies in this rabbit house here, and I would like to introduce you to a couple of the breeds. They're a little special. This is an American chinchilla, and not unlike some humans in this country, the female chinchilla is defined by its double chin. These are big bunnies. They can get, I would say, more than 25 pounds at some point, because these are really, really big bunnies. We're also talking about how you get these bunnies ready for the fair. Of course, Thumper's no different, but most bunnies, they can't cool themselves. They actually don't have sweat glands, and his little claws are digging into my skin right now. So actually they cool themselves through their ears. There's veins in their ears that allow them to cool themselves. So what the folks here, the 4-H'ers, about 25 of them from 5 counties that show here at the Bunny Barn at the Adams County Fair, what they have to do is put some frozen water bottles underneath the bunnies so that the bunnies can cool themselves. There's all sorts of things that I did not know about bunnies. I'm a farm girl, but didn't know much about bunnies, and honestly, obviously not how to hold them either, because this one is not feeling so secure on my back. Now there's some other animals that we'd like to tell you about how 4-H'ers and open class shows go, and that is chickens. Now I don't know a lot about chickens, but the guy that does is Seth Turwelp. Whoa, this bunny wants to get away from me. You're from Payson, and introduce us to your animal right here.
Well, this is Black Langshan cockerel. He is 2 years old.
Okay, so this is a rooster, and I heard it crowing as soon as we pulled up. Not unlike females getting ready for a beauty pageant, roosters like this, chickens like this actually have to go through a beauty treatment before they hit the stage, so to speak. What do you have to do to get a rooster like this ready?
Well, for a rooster like this, you're actually going to want to start a couple months ahead of time, because of the work you have to do on the tail to try and get all your feathers in. From there on, about a week before the show, you're going to want to go ahead and wash your birds. That's a 3-step process, which your first tub of water is going to have your soap in it, where you're going to go through and soap up all the feathers, get them all clean. And then the next 2 are rinsing tubs.
Do you actually put the chicken in the tub?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you want to pretty much completely immerse your bird into the tub, just kind of keep the head out of the water.
Okay.
Kind of getting all the feathers soaked down, and then after that, for a bird like this, you can actually just set them out in the sun and let them dry off naturally. Some birds you kind of want to blow dry off. It works a little better, and they look a little better after you blow dry them.
Now tell me about the claws. Do you have to do sort of a manicure on claws like this when you talk about getting your rooster? Oh, there they go crowing again.
Well, for a rooster like this, what you want to do is make sure your toenails are trimmed, that they're not too long if he's in a cage. Other than that, what I normally do is I'll take a soapy toothbrush right before the show, and I'll go around and I'll clean them all down, make sure there's no debris and dirt on them. Just kind of brush them down, make them shine.
Okay. So when we're talking about getting these chickens ready, it is obviously a long process, sort of along the lines of what you do to get a woman ready for a beauty pageant. And of course, this chicken doing very, very well at show this year.
Yes, he got best of class up here, and then up at Hancock County he got grand champion.
Wonderful. So we're sitting with some tri-state royalty as far as the poultry market goes this morning. We do want to remind you that the Bunny Barn will be open for the last day of the Adams County Fair here tonight. And we also want to let you know events coming up tonight at the Adams County Fair. The big one, the culmination of the week-long event, the Demolition Derby that kicks off here tonight. We'll have more about the Demolition Derby and how they get their cars ready coming up.
Your friend there does more work to get his chicken ready for a show than I do to get ready for this show. Wake up!
Hey, do you hear the
squeeze that
roosters
chicken?
crowing in the background?
Not
This
even
is the way to get up in the morning, I guess the country way to get up in the morning. We're talking about how to get chickens and rabbits ready for show here at the fair. We're actually in the bunny barn where there are more than 450 rabbits on display from area open show producers as well as 4-H'ers in the area from actually 5 counties. But right now we're going to talk chickens, and this is Seth Turwelp. He's from Payson, and he's going to introduce us to Fred. Fred, of course, you've met him before. He likes to hit me in the head with his wings. We've talked about the fact that you get Fred ready for the fair by bathing him and basically giving him a manicure, anything that a pageant queen would need to do to get ready for the big show. But what kinds of, when you show a chicken like this, what do you have to do?
Well, for showing a bird, especially in 4-H, what you're going to do is you're going to come in the morning and put them into your display coops. When the showing begins, the judge will be walking around, and as he comes up to your bird, you'll want to take your bird out for him and hand him the bird, and then he'll look it over and check all your feathers and everything, and then he'll give the bird back to you, and then he watches as you put your bird back into the pen.
So it's basically how you handle the bird and how well kept your bird is.
Yes, and also how your bird acts throughout the day inside his own pen.
Okay, so they're actually watching the bird throughout the day, not just when you show the bird. Okay, so this is an interesting way to show a chicken. You normally would see cattle shows, horse shows, but chicken shows, something to check out at the Adams County Fair and area of county fairs in your area. Now we're going to talk bunnies. Now, bunnies, of course, very furry and fun creatures. This is Mariana Roberts, and she is from Liberty. And introduce us to this little guy.
This is Opal. He won Best of Show last year at the 4-H show.
So you're a 4-H'er, one of the 25 4-H'ers that show an open class or the 4-H class here as well. 5 different counties. This is a lot of bunnies in this bunny barn. How do you think of these bunnies, they're covered with fur all year long. That doesn't change in the summertime very much. So what do you have to do to keep these bunnies cool in this extreme heat?
One thing we do is we go out and we buy water bottles and put them in the freezer and freeze them. Put a sock over them so it stays cold longer, and then they'll lay on it and it'll keep their body cool.
Why is it so important for bunnies to stay cool? I've been told that they don't have sweat glands.
They don't sweat. The only cool down they have is their blood vessels through their ears, and that's how they cool down.
Okay, so it's very important to keep water and the food in the pen. That's an obvious one, but then cold water bottles, frozen water bottles, so they can keep themselves cool and regulate the heat. Now, what kind of bunny is this? This looks like a very satiny bunny, very, very soft.
He's a mini Rex.
What makes him so special?
Mini Rexes have a different kind of coat than most rabbits. It's more soft and more dense than the other kind of rabbits.
Okay, and so when you get it ready for a show, what do you have to do? Do you just set it on a table and let it jump around, or what do you have to do?
To groom it and get ready, you just use a cat slicker brush and just comb his fur, make sure he doesn't have any mats or any stains, and then clip his toenails. These ones are kind of long actually, and then when you show him, you just put him on a show table, and then the judge will get him out and feel his body and how meat it is, and depends on the kind of rabbit you have.
Okay, so there's lots to pay attention to if you are a bunny owner in the Tri-States. And again, if you have small kids and you're looking for them to get out and about and get a chance to touch some bunnies, get up close and personal with some animals in the Tri-States, the Adams County Fair is on its last night tonight. Of course, 450 bunnies in this bunny barn. They will still be here tonight. But the big thing that's tonight, the highlight, the culmination of everything for the last week, is the Demolition Derby, which kicks off at 6:30. And coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk to a longtime Derby driver and get an up-close personal look at a Derby car.
I am going to volunteer my family van once again, the traveling funkmobile.
To be in the demo derby?
Yes, take it.
Jeez.